it's Brendan Lord, and welcome back to Rome Total War as the Gauls. If you remember last time, we made some daring moves against the Germans, and we launched attack on the Dacians, took a town of the, didn't quite take a town of the Spanish. We counted down the timer, and continued sieging the Bruttii capital. So hopefully today we can make advances on all these fronts. I do believe that was all that we needed to do that turn, so without further ado, I'm just checking everything out around here. Oh yes, and the British were sieging, trying to retake their capital there. Very interesting, I might say. And we're going to save it, and we're going to end the turn. And the Bruttii still aren't doing anything, they're just losing a bunch of troops to passive damage. And look at this. The Germans trying to break it. They got a lot of spear warbands, so it's a little scary. A little bit. And they got some Bastarnia. This guy must have come over from the east, because he's got eastern mercenaries. So, he's got those. No big deal. I think we can handle it. And so, let's fight. Vindex the Conqueror shall defend his title, and he shall conquer another settlement. We hope. I mean, it's gonna be a little hard, but I think we can do it. And yeah, so let's get going. And it looks like a pretty flat map, so that's pretty nice. Per usual, we're gonna move our barbarian elite back so they don't get damaged. And I'm going to spread out my line a little bit and have kind of clumps of units here, because the first army is all infantry, and most of them are spear warbands. So we're going to need to have some mobile forces, and put the cavalry in to fill in the gaps. And you're going to see how this will work. And I think it'll work pretty well. And we should be able to crush this first army without too much trouble. And then the second army is, well, I don't know. The first army is the one that's really the trouble, because they have 5 or 6 spear warbands, as you can see. And those are pretty tough to deal with. In my opinion, the best way to deal with hoplite-style units is to attack them with phalanx-style units, because you get that advantage as far as reach advantage. And then the second best way is to pin them with an equal-length hoplite unit, and then charge around with cavalry or light infantry. Third best way is to, if you're fighting a phalanx, is to pin them with a hoplite, and then, because they'll start losing, so you need to get in there quickly. And then, the next best way is to use regular infantry and to pin and circle around. And then the worst way is to attack them head-on with cavalry, basically. Anyway, they're moving in here, so we're going to move our cavalry and some of our infantry in the flanks, and to keep these guys in the middle spread out, so that their forces are spread out, so we can have an easy shot at their backside. It's kind of the overarching goal here. Move these swordsmen on the flanks, and move these cavalry over on the flank as well. Keep them on the flank. They put those barbarian mercenaries way over on the side. I don't know what they're thinking. And we're just kind of create a kill zone here. Gonna pause it and put war cry on all our guys here, because that is the way to go. Yeah, and war cry is I believe war cry is probably one of the best abilities in the game. I mean, there's not too many useful abilities, and Warcry has to be one of the best. Without Warcry's barbarian units would be a lot less desirable, and we would have lost quite a few more battles, I believe, than we had won, especially against the Romans. Well, because other barbarians get Warcry, spear warbands don't, but that's okay. And as you can see, one of the spear warbands already broke, so this strategy is working pretty well. We're going to be able to come in and just crush. We're going to sweep down the lines here. We're going to charge in the middle with our cavalry as well. That should break them. Another unit's down. And the left is looking pretty good. Oh, there we go. We broke a unit with our cavalry, broke another unit. And they just got one unit left in this main line here. So we're going to have all our guys just get in there and break it real quick. And then we'll regroup and attack their general unit of warband. We're going to pull out all of our cavalry and have all of our infantry go and attack them, because that's what we need to do. And this unit's lollygagging, stop lollygagging, stop lollygagging. And we should be able to, whatever. Oh, he routed, so okay, good. We can crush him a little bit. And we should be able to chase this last unit of barbarian mercenaries with our infantry and cut them down pretty easily. Because we have swordsmen and other good things like that. And there we go. That was basically what I was really worried about, was that army, because they had all the spear warbands. But they should be okay. And this unit here decided to use Warcry, and then they routed while using it. So they stood still so we could kill them easier. Kind of funny. And there goes the rest of that army. They've completely routed, so very nice, very nice. Good work, Vendex. Or should I say, is this guy Meridoc? Good work, Meridoc, because you kind of led the charge. Vendex was just kind of supporting. Just kind of chilling. Again, that is what I like to do with my generals. Just have them chill. My main general, I mean. And, yeah. We're going to reform our infantry over here in our back line. And we're going to have all our cavalry, except our commander, Vindex. We're going to have them chase down the remainder of the army. Because there's still a good chunk of them left, and, free kills are free kills. And this should put the Germans in a really bad position. I mean, even if they do win this battle, which is kind of unlikely now, that first army just got totally destroyed. So, I mean, I can probably come back and be okay. Probably, I say. And look at, just cutting them down. Oh, look at the general's right in the action. He's just like, yeah. Oh, and their cavalry is really close, actually, so I need to back out. The Sarmatians plus the general there will be able to crush these units of cavalry, I believe. It'll be really close, and I don't really feel like having a really close cavalry battle. And it looks like they're going to send their general alone without the Sarmatian cavalrymen to support them. So we're just going to crush them with all our cavalry and a couple units of swordsmen there. And it looks like barbarian cavalry attacked our right flank. I wasn't paying attention over there. But good thing there was barbarian mercenaries and swordsmen there, and we were able to cut them down. Killed their general. So, yeah. Another one of their family members lost. So, very good. They're charging out with their Sarmatian knights, Sarmatian cavalry. They're not knights. And we're going to surround them with all of our infantry, and they should be able to just die. There we go. We didn't cut down too many of them, but they are routing, so it's very nice. And then they're sending in their Bastarnae, so we're going to try to crush those, and we got barbarian mercenaries right there. And meanwhile, the reinforcement spear warbands are being really slow because, they're in phalanx mode, so we should be able to cut these guys down. And there we go. Bastarnae are routing, so we're going to pull out our guys here so they don't get caught in the spear warbands. Got to be very careful. It's always stressful. It's always stressful fighting hoplite armies, especially with the balance or with like barbarian troops, because you got to be very careful of their. Because they're just very intimidating if you're attacking them from the front, especially in the thick German units. They're very hard to deal with. And oh, come on, cavalry! Really? Well, that unit just committed suicide, basically. So, good to know. We're going to charge with our infantry because they're getting a little disorganized, so that'll be very nice for us. And, yeah, all that is good in the hood. And we should be fine, I believe. And all their units just routed there, so that's pretty cool. Should be able to cut them down. We're going to send our cavalry to help cut them down. And they got one last, they got their Sarmatian men came back, so we're going to have all our cavalry come in and try to charge them. And go from there. Actually, let's just have everybody charge them, why not? And, yeah. And then that should be the end of this army, and we should just be able to run them down for free kills. Boom! And Meridoc just took out that force, took out that cavalry there, and he's just crushing them. Good work. Good work, Gauls. Once again, you beat Germans who... honestly, if you're playing as the Germans, you should be able to defeat the Gauls and the British pretty easily, just because of the spear warbands. And, yeah. So we beat the odds and defeated them here, and cut down these spear warbands so that, we can take the city after this battle. That'll be very nice if we were able to. And go from there. And they got one last guy here, not really a problem, so I'm just going to exit the battle. And that was a heroic victory, and oh man, I can see why. We killed 1,300 and they only killed like 200. So yeah, very good job, Vendex. You definitely deserved the title of the Conqueror, because you just You just dominated. You just conquered. Oh, well, like his title. Oh man. Yeah. So hopefully you can take the capital here, and that should stop the Germans. I mean, it's not going to actually stop the Germans, but it should stop them from actually posing a threat, because they're not going to have any good settlements left, I don't believe. The rest of the settlements they have aren't that good, and they should be pretty much stalled. And a large army from Dacia is going to try to break the siege. They have a lot more men, but we have swordsmen to their warband, so we have a pretty good chance, I would say. And we do have a superior commander, so let's do it. Let's engage. No problem there. And of course, if we win, we have a chance of taking the small town as well. So that'd be cool. Win 2 good victories against rival barbarian factions and take 2 settlements on just on the end turn. That would be very nice. And then if the Spanish, if they give up, we'll take that town too. And the Burdia didn't attack, so we were not going to take that. But 3 settlements in 1 turn is pretty good. Pretty good, I must say. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Spicy meatball. I don't know. It looks like we have the best advantage if we line up right here, because then they have to come at us from downhill. Even though it's not too much of a slope, it's better. They can't really flank us very well on the hill because it's a solid area to fight, I would say. And on our flanks, it's more level so that they can't get a flanking bonus on us. And yeah, looking pretty good. We're gonna rotate the army a little bit though because we're off Kirta, and go from there. Oh, so how's it going today, guys? It is a Tuesday, and yeah, this is 3 uploads in a row, man. 3 days, 3 uploads, because I have a lot of free time. I should be starting up my job, summer job, at the end of the week, or the beginning of next week or something. So it'll be a little less than every day, but until I start that up, it's going to probably be an episode a day. And we might even finish this LP this week. Who knows? That would be crazy. That would definitely be crazy. And it feels like I just started this LP too. I mean, well, I guess it was only like, I don't know, it's like a month ago that I started this. And we're already doing this well. We've already gotten over 20 regions, taken Rome, destroyed 2 Roman factions. We're probably not going to end up killing the Scipii and the Bruttii, but we're going to definitely destroy most of their very vital settlements. So they're practically dead, kind of like what we're doing with the Germans. And well, the Dacians we're not really going to be able to touch because we don't have enough forces to really just push out in that direction. Plus, that might make Macedon mad, and we don't want that because Macedonia is a very large Greek faction, and Greeks are kind of like fighting the Germans. They have lots of phalanx troops, which are very good at crushing us. So that would not be good for us, I would say. Not at all. Anyway, we're going to kill that stupid cavalry that decided to come up. There we go. I sent my general over to help, but we didn't really need it, so very fortuitous. And we're going to move our swordsman over there. And I'm going to rub my nose. There we go. And they got some war dogs. We're going to crush them with our cavalry. These cavalry are just going to be in the back, and we're going to try to harass them. They got archer war bands here that are going to die, hopefully. There shouldn't be any competition from anywhere else. And their line seems to be engaging, so we're going to do war cry, and that should give us a very good advantage. We have the hill advantage, we have the troop type advantage, and we're going to have the war cry advantage, because I don't believe they did war cry, so it'll be very nice. And our cavalry is going to engage this unit of archer warband. Should be able to take them out. There we go. And there's another unit of archer warband down there that we can hopefully take out. And they're sending their general right here, so we're going to send in our general. Theirs is not a prince, and ours is a prince, so we have more men than ours. Plus, they're attacking our infantry, and their unit there routed, so they lost their support. That was a decent idea by the computer to try to break that side of my line. But it didn't work, and we crushed their general. And now their armor is just in mass disarray, because the cavalry in the back is just totally playing with them. And our infantry in the front is just totally dominating them. So it's very tough for them to survive here. And we got warbands. I didn't want to double click. If I haven't told you, if you double click or right click a unit during pause, that's how you bring up the information scroll. And in the last episode, I was able to do that very quickly with when the card of the siege attacked. I was able to pull up the pony infantry really quick by kind of double tapping the P button and right clicking at the same time. So it's something I've gotten good at because I like to look at the information of units while I'm battling, just to make sure, just to see what kind of upgrades they have, and just look at their combat abilities, because I have a hard time remembering all their combat abilities, whether they have like good morale or just average morale, because those kind of things can make a difference. Because if you need that unit to die first and they have good morale, it's going to be a lot harder. So you want to pick on the units with the lower morale first, usually, is how it goes. And we dominated everybody there. As you saw, the Dacians, we just charged them down the hill and they just routed. So we're going to move our infantry back up here. It should be nice flat terrain to fight the incoming army. And we're going to keep our cavalry running them down, because that is the name of the game. And it's very, very reminiscent of the last battle that we just had. And yeah, just destroying barbarian factions this turn, I suppose. They try to fight us, we fight them back and destroy them. Anyway, we're going to move in with our cavalry and destroy some of these unit trees here. Unitarian systems. I don't know what I'm saying. I really don't know what I'm saying anymore. I've lost it. I've lost it this week. As I've said in the last episode, I've definitely lost it. Although I feel a little bit more in control today. Anyway, we're just going to keep running them down. They have such more low morale that we can charge them with our cavalry without too much problem. And should be able to cut down most of their forces. We got one unit of cavalry here to assist this army, but I don't think we really need it. It's just kind of a precautionary. And we're just going to trip speed, and catch that unit, because the secondary army is still pretty far away. Well, not pretty anymore, but... And we're going to move these units over here, these units over here, and we're going to split, and we're going to work right these now, because it looks like they're going after this wing, and we're going to work right these, and then we're going to go after this unit of warband. Move our cavalry up so we can get a rear charge if necessary, or just run them down if they start to break or something. And swordsmen are gaining XP, that's what they're glowing, and there we go, Dacians are routing. We're going to charge it back to these folksmen with our cavalry, and that should be able to break them pretty easily. There we go, and that army is crushed, basically. They must be fighting to the death there, which is very unfortunate for us, because then we allowed them to cut them down. Just running past them and stabbing them in the back is always nice. And there we go, secondary army destroyed, and the primary army is also destroyed. So, good victory there, Lugatorix. You man, you're just a dominator of the Dacians. You're the Dacian dominator. That's all you do. You just kill Dacian armies. Yeah, all he's done is sit in Patavium, and then when the Dacians attacked, he's gone buck nuts on the Dacians. So, good thing I had him in Patavium, otherwise it would be a lot different. Anyway, heroic victory again, because we crushed that army so heavily. So good job, Lugatorix, and good job, Vindex, because you two just dominated the barbarians on this turn. And we might get a historic battle marker on the map. That would be cool. And there we go. There's the end of that. We're going to capture the settlement, occupy it. No need to exterminate a town, as I've said before. And we are going to take Carthago Nova. We could exterminate, but I'm just going to occupy it. I don't know. I go back and forth when I'm dealing with barbarian towns, so I don't know. And Tarentum, it's running pretty low in garrison. It's just a lot of Roman units that we get to slaughter. Hopefully, if they might just even give up the town. Who knows? And oh, Patavium grew to a large city. Look at this. Doesn't it look sexy? I think it looks pretty sexy. Again, these are the sprites from Barbarian Invasion. So, if they look familiar, they're probably from the expansion Barbarian Invasion, where barbarian nations get full access to pretty much the tech tree that civilized nations had in this game. But I didn't want to go that, again, I didn't want to go that far because they weren't that far advanced compared to other nations. But they weren't as bad as vanilla says they were, I would say. So I gave them large cities, again, and stone walls, simple stone walls and stuff. Tiny cesspits. All that good stuff. And anyway, there's a historic battle marker up here by Vindix the Conqueror. And I'm just checking the blacksmith, and we're probably going to build stone walls there, because it's going to be our bastion of defense. For the rest of this game, this is going to be a bastion of defense here. Vendex and his son here, I think it's his son, are just going to hold out against the Germans if they try to retake it. And since we're going to build stone walls there for that purpose, and that purpose alone. We do have quite a bit of money this turn from extermination, and I guess we're starting to get a little bit of money from our towns, from all our settlements, which is very nice. It is very, very nice, I would say. And oh my, looks like a storm's rolling in. Hopefully, we should be able to finish this episode off before any kind of thunder happens, and I short circuit my computer or something. But we've only been playing for like 15-20 minutes, so I'll keep going. And anyway, we're going. For some reason, the British retreated, as you saw. I don't know why, so we're going to retrain and build a couple more units there. I think it's about time to send it out, because I said we didn't have enough money, but look at we have pretty good cash now, so we're able to build a couple more units up there, and we should be able to afford it. I don't know where those Spanish armies went, and we could build deep mines here, and that reminds me, I can go up here and build deep mines here in a much safer location, definitely. Better idea. And in Carthago Nova, it's pretty close to growing, actually, which is pretty cool. And we should be able to grow it in the next few turns. And we're going to retrain some of these units, only the injured ones. We don't really care about the blacksmith upgrades right now, because we really need to conquer Iberia as soon as possible, because they got those big roving armies around. And there's two factions here we have to deal with, and it's going to be hard with one army to fight two different factions at once. So I'm just retraining all the stuff that I can. And I'll give a blacksmith upgrade to the general, why not? And build a garrison unit of warband. And next turn, hopefully we can move out from here, and it'll be okay. And a little Spanish force there, nothing too bad. And we should be fine. If we destroy their temple, we should be able to build our temple. There we go, we got enough money back. And yeah, looking pretty good over here in Iberia. Rhinorex took 2 out of the 5 regions he needed to take. As you can see in the financial, next turn it projects us to have about 7,500 again. So that's not bad. We have a little bit of money for a couple turns. It looks like it's probably going to keep going down though. But might as well take advantage of a little bit of money while we have it. So I'm going to save it, and we're going to end the turn and go from there. And it doesn't look like much is going on. Greeks have a diplomat. If you remember, we're still allied with the Greeks. I think they're their only allies in the world. The Greek cities we're still allied with, and I don't think they have too many regions left. And as you can see, Croton is a large... Oh, I gotta go. Sorry about that. I had to go to the bathroom really quick, really bad, and something else came up. So anyway, as I was saying, they did grow their city there to a large settlement, to a large city, so... if we take that, we'll be able to train Barbarian Elite, which is very, very nice. Anyway, we're just going around and again using that money. It's a little less than it said, but that's probably because we trained plenty of units, and it doesn't factor in like the upkeep of the units that you're training. And up here, we can go attack a British town of Abericum. Abericum. I don't know how you say that. Abericum sounds fun, and that's probably not even close to right. And we're actually going to build a diplomat over here in Dame, because we want to try to talk to the Germans and see if they want a ceasefire. And if they do, that'll be very nice, and we won't have to really worry about them. Maybe we can get some trade, and that'll give us a little bit more money, and that'll be very good. But if they don't want a ceasefire, well, whatever. And it looks like that town only has one more turn left, so that's very good. Let's not retrain anything here. And let's build another unit of warbands and see what happens if we try to move out. Yeah, I think we're going to go west with this army and see if we can't take the Carthaginian settlement to the west here. As you can see by the border, this area belongs to Carthage. Southern Spain belongs to Carthage. Kind of like how for a large portion of medieval times, southern Spain belonged to Muslims. Kind of a similar theme, although not really at all. Definitely not at all. I don't know what I'm saying. And they do have a little bit of an army there, so maybe they were trying to push through there. I'm not too sure what they're up to, but we'll see. And everything's looking good in the kingdom. Spent most of our money, and next turn we should be able to siege that British town. And if all they have left is towns, they really aren't going to pose any more threat. I think London was really their only good settlement. And ooh, look at that! They got the Dacians have a nice little army there, and hopefully we can defend Aberg or Ayuvavum if they decide to attack, or they might realize that it's kind of hopeless. They haven't made any ground on us at all, to be honest. And yeah, hopefully they will not attack. But we're gonna save it. Gonna end the turn, and the Brudii aren't going to. Oh, they have one more turn. My bad. And that British army from before decided to attack. It looks like it sans one unit, but I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, we're going to definitely fight this on the battle map because all they have is infantry. And you know what? Let's just have this. Let's just have an old-fashioned infantry brawl where it's just infantry line versus infantry line, and we'll see who wins. I have swordsmen. I have more units. I think it's a pretty good shot, and might as well keep my cavalry healthy if I can. Because if they only have towns, we're not going to be able to retrain the cavalry, but we can retrain the war bands, so I figure might as well take casualties in something that can be retrained as opposed to something that can't. And yeah, pretty flat map. Didn't really want to fight in the woods. Not that I already had a choice. I don't want to advance and fight in the woods is what I'm saying. Now let's trip speed it here. Trip speed! Hey, trip speed! Hey, trip speed! Hey, trip speed! Hey, sorry. I like to pretend like I'm a good beatboxer, but I'm not that good of a beatboxer. And I like to beatbox sometimes, and it's fun. So there you go. Anyway, I'm just going to war cry everywhere, and we're going to assault them heavily. Actually, this guy's going to go over here. And we're going to attack there, going to attack there. And pretty much, we have them 1 for 1 in the main area, and then we're just going to outflank them on the sides and try to kind of envelop them, kind of like a hug of death. We're just going to try to close in and destroy them. Kind of our goals here. Make sure all the units are attacking the right guys. And we already broke a unit on the right. That's just insane. And keep our general up there and get some morale support. We're breaking units in the center as well. Gonna call cry of command just in case. And we should be able to crush them pretty quickly. Although, I don't know, they have a nice mass in the middle. They are wavering, though. And hopefully we are able to crush them. And we're fighting on all the fronts. Losing some units. It's not too bad. There we go. We can handle the losses here. Not really a big deal. Although the losses in the one sword and a couple of the swordsman units are a little unfortunate. And we did strike down their general, and that's making almost everything rout. There we go. Pretty much their whole army routed except that one unit that came back in the back. And we're just going to chase them down. It's time to unleash the cavalry. Unleash the cavalry. And go from there. These two generals really haven't done much. Wait a sec. I think did this guy take out? Did this guy take back Samaral Briva? I think he did. And then he attacked Londinium, and he's gonna kill off the British for us if we can. Yeah, that's probably what he'll do. He'll take mainland Britain. I don't know if I'm gonna move over Ireland or not. It's not really a big deal to me. And if I do, if they even took it, that is, I don't even know if they took it. But mainland Britain is going to follow this guy by the end of this LP. There you go. Clear victory, and pretty easy. We only lost mid 100s. So, not too bad for just a straight-up infantry clash with no real, strategic advantages on either side. And that's a very good quote. Sun Tzu is a pretty domination-oriented man. So, there you go. And next turn, hopefully we should be able to take the city of Tarentum. My bad, I misread the turn counter. Or I just didn't care, I guess. And we're going to move the diplomat up here and talk to Bordesolm. As you can see, it's a town only, so it's kind of a similar situation to the British, where we're still at war, but they really have nothing to fight us off with. And as you can see, they're trying, but it's just hopeless. It's just hopeless. After we took Londinium, it's over for them, and after we took Dame, it's pretty much over for the Germans. And whoa, Carthago Nova is pissed, and they're rioting actually, and they broke the cesspit, which lowers their happiness even more. So we're gonna have to build some more garrison and repair that quickly. And actually, there's that big Spanish army to the north. I could go over to attack, but I really don't want to lose a settlement now. I might as well just try to finish off the Spanish, and then deal with whatever Carthage has built up by then. That's kind of be my strategy with Iberia from now on. So looking good, looking good. We should be able to deal with that army soon, rather than later. It'll be very nice. And over here again, they have one turn, and look at these men have come down from 80 to 27 in their units, so they've definitely taken their toll from the siege. We can train some units here. I'm going to train a couple chosen swordsmen just for some garrison. Just for some extra firepower, you know, good stuff like that. And over in Batavia, we can train a unit. I'm going to train unit Barbarian Elite, just so we have it in our capital and large city. Such a sexy large city. I was hoping we'd get a large city during this campaign, and we did. And it only took, look at it, it only took, what is that? I can't count. 22 years? Yeah, there you go. 22 years, and we got a large city already. Well, Batavium does have one of the best growth rates on the map, to be honest. It rivals those, cities in Egypt, if we're going to be honest. So it's a very nice city to take. We're going to end the turn, and it looks like the Brudi are going to sally forth. This is going to be really boring, and yeah, so I'm going to quadruple speed this battle. So I'll see you on the battle map. Here we are, quadruple speeded, you know, take my guys off the siege weapons, line them up, and just kind of let my ranged units do well, basically I only have one really good range, which is the Force of Warbans, and just let them go to work. And we do have a lot of cavalry in this army, which I like. I like lots of cavalry, and a couple of really heavy-hitting, you know, I have 2 really heavy-hitting melee units, and I got some decent range supports. It's all good. And you see a Force of Warbans cutting this unit down as it gets closer. And as it gets closer, we're just going to charge in with these guys, and we should be able to break them pretty easily. There you go. Got some nice friendly fire from our skirmishers, so we lost a couple men there. And we should be able to tear this unit up with our Force of Warbans. There we go. They routed before they even hit. And we're tearing up these units. We're actually going to charge them with the swordsmen here and crush them. Hopefully, there we go. Die, die, die. Then we're going to reform the line. And all is looking good. Getting more losses. War dogs trying to fight off these swordsmen, and they should hold their own pretty well. And here comes our general. Fighting the does, fighting the does, fighting the does, fighting the does, fighting the does. Comes a couple more units of unitary, and they should be able to rout pretty easily. Gonna charge in there because their general charged, and we crushed them. I'm just gonna take all these cavalry well, not all the cavalry, but the cavalry that we selected, and just crush them. So there we go. Battle 1, we exterminated the town, and there we go. We took this Roman city of Tarentum. And now the Romans only have one more city. And whoa, what is it? Flash flood? Oh man. At least there's no like valuable family members that could have died there. But flash flood in near Alesia, so we got a little bit of damaged buildings. Lost some soldiers. Not too bad. And Massilia is growing to a large city, or not a large city, a normal city, a minor city as it's called. I just like to call them cities. So that's pretty nice. Another city to add to our mix. So we got a lot of growth rate in our our world. Probably because we're not training a lot of troops for most of our settlements, so they're able to grow pretty nice. And gonna build some farms and other good things around the kingdom. And Carthago Nova is under decent happiness, and it's now in the yellow. A lot of times construction can reduce unrest, because there can be unrest caused by a lack of construction, you know. I don't know why, and I don't really know how it exactly works, but constructing things in your settlement is never a bad idea. And in Numantia, with the garrison we have in Numantia and Ryanarx's armor, we should be able to take them down. But we're going to make them make a move, see if they retreat, see what they do, and go from there. Gonna train a couple more units around the kingdom just for some garrison. Never hurts. Never hurts at all. And Sanford Diva, gonna build some farms. Londoninium. Don't really need to build anything here. We can hike up the tax rate though, so let's do that. And over here, things are looking pretty good. We can build some. Oh man, this place is. What happened to Batavium's happiness? Holy cow! Might have to lower their tax rate a little bit to low, which is kind of unfortunate. They do have. They still have. Their population is ridiculous, and yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to just build some stuff. We're gonna build some boats actually, because we need to. Again, we need to take the island of Sicily, which has 3 very good Scipii settlements, and we should hopefully be able to take that out. And that's going to be our pretty much our last bout against the Romans, unless they try to make landfall and retake Italian settlements. So I'm going to build large boats in Rome, and see, as you can see now, Epordarex is a conqueror because he conquered 5 Roman settlements. What a boss! What a boss! What a boss! And we're going to take out their temple, build our own temple, and retrain most of our troops. There you go, Epordarex the Conqueror. So we have 2 conquerors and 1 guy that's honest, pretty much leading our armies. And the Bruni really don't have much left in Italy, and we're going to be able to take their large city pretty easily. So that's all good. And I'm going to zoom over here and take this diplomat and see if they want a ceasefire. And that is going to be all for today, folks. And I hope you enjoyed. And next time, hopefully we can just keep pushing, because that's what we like to do. And Braden Lord signing out. Peace.